British politics has been thrown into complete chaos following an unprecedented series of defections from the Labour Party to reform UK. This shocking political realignment represents far more than simple party switching. It signals a fundamental breakdown in the traditional structures that have governed Westminster for decades. The defections emerged after months of mounting tensions within Labour ranks. Senior MPs had grown increasingly frustrated with Keir Starmer's leadership style, describing his approach as indecisive and lacking clear direction. These concerns were compounded by broader ideological disagreements about the party's future path, particularly regarding immigration policy, economic strategy, and national security priorities. What makes these defections particularly damaging is their calculated nature. Rather than spontaneous departures driven by momentary anger, sources reveal that the departing MPs had been planning their exit strategy for several months. This level of premeditation suggests deep-rooted problems within Labour that extend far beyond surface-level disagreements. The beneficiary of this political turmoil has been Reform UK, which has skillfully positioned itself to capitalize on Labour's internal struggles. Under Richard Tice's leadership, with Nigel Farage maintaining a significant behind-the-scenes presence, Reform UK has successfully rebranded itself as the authentic voice of working-class Britain. Their messaging focuses on border security, national sovereignty, and economic nationalism, themes that traditionally resonated with Labour's core voter base. These policy positions have proven particularly attractive to disaffected Labour MPs, who felt their former party had drifted too far from its working-class roots. The defectors argue that Labour under Starmer has become increasingly disconnected from the concerns of ordinary British workers, focusing instead on metropolitan liberal values that alienate traditional supporters. The immediate impact on Westminster has been dramatic. Reform UK's parliamentary presence has grown from negligible to substantial overnight, fundamentally altering the balance of power in the House of Commons. Legislative processes have become more unpredictable, with traditional party discipline breaking down as MPs reassess their loyalties and positions. For Starmer personally, these defections represent a devastating blow to his authority. Once viewed as a steady, if uninspiring, leader who could unite Labour's various factions, he now faces accusations of weakness and political incompetence. The media narrative around his leadership has shifted dramatically, with commentators questioning whether he possesses the skills necessary to hold his party together, let alone lead the country. If you're finding this political analysis helpful, make sure to subscribe for more in-depth coverage of British politics as these dramatic events continue to unfold. Within Labour headquarters, panic has reportedly set in as party officials scramble to prevent further defections. Private meetings have become tense affairs, with MPs openly questioning the leadership's strategy and competence. The fear of additional departures has created an atmosphere of suspicion and paranoia that threatens to paralyze the party's decision-making processes. Public reaction to these developments has been equally polarized. Reform UK supporters view the defections as vindication of their political project, seeing them as proof that even establishment politicians recognize the need for radical change. Conversely, loyal Labour voters feel betrayed by MPs they previously trusted, leading to bitter recriminations on social media platforms. The broader implications for British democracy are profound. The traditional two-party system that has dominated British politics for generations is showing signs of serious strain. Reform UK's growing influence represents part of a broader populist wave that has been building across Western democracies, challenging established political norms and institutions. Electoral calculations have become increasingly complex as parties struggle to adapt to this new reality. The Conservative Party finds itself in a particularly difficult position, watching Labour's troubles while simultaneously facing pressure on its right flank from Reform UK's growing appeal to traditional Tory voters concerned about immigration and national identity. The fragmentation of British politics reflects deeper social and economic tensions that have been building for years. Many voters feel abandoned by mainstream political parties that seem more concerned with Westminster intrigue than addressing real-world problems. Reform UK has successfully tapped into this frustration, offering simple solutions to complex problems. Economic pressures have intensified these political divisions. Rising living costs, housing shortages, and concerns about job security have created fertile ground for populist messages that blame elite incompetence for ordinary people's struggles. Traditional party loyalties have weakened as voters become more willing to support radical alternatives. The steel industry debate highlighted in Parliament demonstrates how these broader political tensions play out in specific policy areas. The passionate exchange between MPs revealed deep disagreements about industrial strategy, foreign ownership of strategic assets, and the balance between environmental concerns and economic competitiveness. The Conservative MP's forceful defense of British steel production resonated with themes that Reform UK has made central to its political appeal. His criticism of Chinese ownership and calls for energy cost reductions echo arguments that have become increasingly popular among voters concerned about national sovereignty and industrial decline. These policy debates illustrate how Reform UK's influence extends beyond simple party politics into substantive policy discussions. Their emphasis on economic nationalism and industrial protection has forced other parties to reconsider their positions on trade, foreign investment, and environmental regulation. Looking ahead, British politics faces an unprecedented period of uncertainty. The next general election will likely be unlike any in recent memory, with traditional assumptions about voter behavior and party loyalty no longer reliable guides to electoral outcomes. Reform UK's growing momentum suggests they could become a permanent fixture in British politics rather than a temporary protest movement. The Labour Party faces a critical choice about its future direction. Starmer must decide whether to maintain his centrist approach or shift toward more populist positions to win back lost supporters. This decision will likely determine not only his personal political survival, but the long-term viability of Labour as a major political force. Subscribe now to stay updated on these rapidly evolving political developments that are reshaping the entire British political landscape. The Conservative Party confronts similar challenges as it attempts to maintain unity while preventing further erosion to Reform UK. Traditional party boundaries are becoming increasingly fluid as voters prioritize specific issues over long-standing party affiliations. For British democracy itself, these developments pose both opportunities and risks. While increased political competition could invigorate democratic discourse and force parties to become more responsive to voter concerns, the fragmentation of the political system could also lead to instability and governance challenges. The ultimate test will be whether Britain's democratic institutions can adapt to these changing circumstances while maintaining the stability and effectiveness that have characterized British governance for centuries. The stakes could not be higher as the country navigates this period of unprecedented political transformation. What emerges from this upheaval will likely define British politics for a generation, making these current developments among the most significant in modern political history.